Recording started.
All right, I am now recording. So, yeah, we just talked a little bit about where everybody lives so far. If you just came in just recently, talked a little football. Somebody thinks the Seahawks should have won, and somebody likes the Packers. So, I'm actually a 49ers fan and have been for a long time. So, I'm pretty happy too. So, Packers and 49ers are going on pretty soon. Okay, Raiders fan. My dad's a Raiders fan, and somebody's called me a bandwagon. It's alright, dude. Ever since like Steve Young and Jerry Rice, can't say that's a long, long time ago. Rams fan since birth. Fantastic. All right, everybody. So welcome to Block 3. We may have some new people. This is your first time in here. That's all right. Hopefully, you can kind of get a hang of how everything works. A couple things on the geography class. Well, let me go to my first slide here, and I'll just introduce myself, okay? So, and my family, because my family's on here as well. Okay. So, as you can see me on the screen, I guess, and I'm in one of the pictures there. So, my name is Mr. Hancock, and this is my family. So, I have my wife, Christy, and then I have 3 little kids. They're 7, 4, and 2. I gotta make sure I get that all right. Brooklyn, she's my 7-year-old. Then I have Kaysen, and then I have Kayler, that's a little baby that's 2. And so that's my little family right there. So that's a little bit about me. I told everybody else before that I live in West Haven, so that's actually west of Ogden, and so that's what I do. And I'm a geography teacher. I teach geography and personal finance, and then also just do some other little things on the side here. Okay. All right. Before we get into geography, let me look at the chat real quick. Got a Steelers fan. I'm sorry. No, just kidding. Thank you for the cute. Yeah, my kids. I love them. All right. Cool. All right. Okay. A couple things about geography. So we're going to be meeting once a week. Okay. It's a block class. So basically, it's like 10 weeks, and we're going to be meeting once a week on Mondays at 11:30. Okay. So I already see you've made it here, so you guys are good. And so this class in geography, I used to teach it a little different, but now I'm kind of changing it up a little bit to make it a little more interesting. Before it was kind of, we talked about what geography was, like an introduction, and then we did like North America, Central America, South America, Europe. Now we're going to be focusing more on certain things like population, okay, culture, what culture's like, what our culture's like. We're going to be talking about that and how it compares to different cultures. We're going to be talking about migration and immigration on there, because that's about geography. We're going to talk about political and economic things, and so we're going to kind of go into a lot of that. So basically, there's going to be 7 lessons, and you'll just have like basically one assignment each week that you'll need to do. So like this week there's going to be a little quiz about the themes of geography and what geography is. Okay, so if I were to ask you what geography is, okay, geography is the study of the earth and everything in it. So that's just kind of a brief general definition. So basically, we get to talk about whatever we want in here, which is kind of cool, and how it relates to the earth, right? So some people said, I started liking geography after watching Criminal Minds. They catch you guys using geography to know where the bad guy lie. Yeah. So there are some things where you can use kind of data, that kind of stuff. We're going to talk, one thing we're going to talk about too is like who lives longer in different areas, okay? In the United States, do females live longer or do males live longer, okay? And then we got to say, hey, why? Why would that be the case, okay? So there's a lot of kind of things that we'll be talking about in here as we're going through here, but unfortunately, I only slotted like once a week to do that for this block. All right, let's kind of go over the class real quick. So some things everybody's going to want to pass the class. As I said, if you just kind of log into the course each day, make sure you're not behind, complete your assigned tasks. I mean, you're going to only have one assigned task a week, so it's not going to be super hard on you. But when you do have something to do, it's going to take a little bit more time. Okay. Turn in your assignments on time. Okay. And then if you need help, ask and come to the help session. Okay. So histories and electives is going to have a help session every Friday. And so every Friday you'll have a time where I'll be in there and all the other history and elective teachers will be in there. I believe it's at 2 o'clock on Friday, but I'm getting more details about that today, okay? So then yeah, it's not going to be too, like, burdensome, right? You're good. Man, we got a lot of football action going on here. Or what you guys are talking about. Okay, so some things you'll want to do, okay? If you go up into your course, which will look like this, one thing I want you to make you familiar with is the announcements, okay? So after each class, so I'm recording this right now, I'm going to put this recording up in the announcements. So if you can't make it to this 11:30 class, you can always go back in that day and watch the recording and then do the assignment, okay? So make sure you're kind of doing the assignments. I am going to have a secondary assignment, so if you don't do so well on the first assignment that you do, you can redo that, but it's going to kind of be a little bit different assignment to make sure you understand what there is. If you go into the plan, which is up at the top here, it's going to show what you need to do each day. And there's only a couple things, okay? Somebody said finally a guy teacher. All right, yeah. I'm one of the few. So a couple things. So Mondays are live classes. You have your help session on Friday. I'm just expecting to get done with your help session Friday, okay? Right there, okay? So we got that. Let's see here. Next, of what to do. So unfortunately, because you guys are my guinea pigs, I can't have you like go forward in the class. It's going to be a week by week thing. So like I don't have next week's assignment done, but I have this week's done. So this week you'll have a quiz in lesson 1. So if you go into it, it'll say like start here. You click on it. You go to lesson 1. It has a little video. I'll have this video in it, and then it will have add that. So somebody said, I'm trying to catch up with you guys' chat real quick. Not assess. Can you elaborate? Okay, yeah, so if you haven't done anything, that's good. Just kind of stay pace with everybody that we're doing here. Okay, so here's some helpful hints. I guess they're both number 1, because I must have put that. It says you can retake quizzes many times or redo the assignments to kind of get the grade you want, okay? So if you're struggling in an area and you didn't get the grade you want, I'm going to be there to help you to go get the grade you want. So the only reason you're not going to pass this class is because you just don't do anything, okay? So as long as you put in the effort to learn the content and stuff, I'm here to help you so we can pass and get that grade. And then if you want a good grade, you know, we'll make sure we can get you that, okay? Keep pace with the class plan. The block is actually pretty fast because it's only 10 weeks. So just make sure you kind of keep up on that. Okay, so you have to get at least a 60% to pass, 90% to get an A. Then you're there. So somebody said, So if I eat the whole time, well, you gotta do at least some stuff here, okay? Make sure you kind of know what it is. Yes, I do have a very cool name, so thanks, Zachariah. I'm Zachary, so, or Zach. I just go by Zach. Okay, now we're gonna kind of get into stuff, okay? The first introduction of what the quiz is gonna be on, okay? So one of the things is the quiz, a brief definition of geography, so you might want to go up to the slides. I'll open up the slides at the very end so you can go back and look at that. But it's going to talk a little bit about the themes of geography. There's 5 themes of geography. There's a cheesy little video that I put on the lesson that has a rap called the 5 themes of geography. You can listen to it or not. It's only 2 minutes long. Pretty cheesy, but hey, it'll help you remember, okay? Yeah, I wish I was like Will Smith and had on the show Hancock. That would be good. All right, 5 themes of geography. Here we go. So the first theme of geography is location. Where is it at? Okay. So for those that came in when we weren't going through some things, so you did the theme of public school. Okay. All right. So you should probably already know them. Location. Okay. We had a whole bunch of people. If everybody wants to, whoever wants to, why don't you put the city that you live in, okay, in the chat, so we can kind of see where everybody lives. I know we already did it at the very beginning, but that was before that. Okay, so I got Kearns, St. George, Clearfield, St. George, Aurora, Magna, Midvale, Layton, West Jordan, Murray, Magna, West Jordan, Annabella. I don't even know where's Annabella at. You have to tell me where it's nearby. Okay, that's going to be a relative location. Hurricane, okay. Taylorsville, very good. It's by Richfield. Okay, very good. West Jordan, cool. I think I have a couple other people doing. I'll catch on that. So that was very good. So when I asked the question, where is it by, and then he said by Richfield, that was giving me a relative location, okay? So it describes the location of where it's by. So I say, hey, I live in West Haven by the Maverick. Okay? I actually don't, because I don't want you to know exactly where I live. But that gives me a relative description. Or I live 5 houses down from the Walmart. Or right across the street from so-and-so, okay? So that's that. So exact location is a little different, okay? So exact location is like your address. Okay, exactly where you're at. Okay, don't put in your address here. I don't want anybody so don't put that in the chat. But I'll give you my old address so you can toilet paper that house if you'd like, okay? So I used to live at 4203 South, 3450 West, okay? So that gives me an exact location where I could find something. Or if I like latitude and longitude, okay? I live in a house on a street in a city. All right. Very good. I'm glad you have that. At BS Drive. All right. But if that was actually located, that would be replaced, I could put it into my GPS and find it, right? That would give me an exact location, okay? So now you guys know exact and relative location, right? Very good. Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's very good. So it says same as an IP address. An IP address is like an exact location, right? Unless you use like an IP that can't be tracked. So, City Talk 50 South nonsense. All right, cool. Okay, the next thing, another theme of geography is place. Okay. And we're going to be looking at, as we're going through some things like place, what is it like there? Okay, can anybody tell me what, I have a little sun, I guess, is my little pointer thing today. What kind of food is this? If you're looking at that picture right there to the top left, what kind of food is that? Sushi, okay. Sushi. Where does sushi come from? Besides the store, right? Asia, okay, so Japan. All right, I want you to narrow that down a little bit, okay? So Japan. So that's a little bit different, right? And they've brought it over to somewhere to the United States, okay? Okay. Very good. So there's different food. That's one of my favorite things about traveling, by the way, is I get to try all the different food that's out there. I don't know about you guys, like that's my favorite part. One of my favorite parts. Okay. Another one is housing. Okay. Somebody was just saying before, they lived in an apartment complex or they live different places. There's different houses that are created throughout the world, right? They live in different areas. Some are what's called urban, which means city, right? They're usually living closer together towards a city center or a business area. Then you have the suburbs, which are a little bit farther away from the city center, and you have to usually commute in. And then you have the rural areas, which are more the farming kind of areas, okay? So, and housing looks different on each of those areas, okay? Right here, kind of the center one, okay? What is that talking about? I have my little thing on. Religion, okay? So different areas have different religions. Then they have different customs, right? So if we were to go over to, let's say, the Middle East real quick, there's a certain way you need to act, right? A certain way depending on if you're male or female, the way you dress, right? So you'd want to really look into that before you're doing some traveling as well, okay? Okay, the other thing is if I were to go to another place, okay, and the picture at kind of the middle bottom, I want to know what it's going to be like. So, for example, there was one time I went to Florida. We actually went on a cruise ship, which was fantastic. And we saw like Jamaica, Cayman Islands, a couple places like that. But I came back in January and flew back to Utah in shirts and a t-shirt, and it was freezing, right? So you want to look at weather. What's weather like, right? In different area. Yep. Okay, the environment. Some things that I didn't realize is some areas you have to have almost like mosquito spray, that kind of stuff, to really get away some diseases, that kind of stuff. Okay, another thing is clothing. What's clothing gonna be like? Different areas have different fashion statements, right? I don't even know what the fashion statement is in Utah anymore. I wear a polo and jeans almost every day. So, but there could be like ripped jeans is kind of the style. They dress differently, as you see. It looks like there's just some African clothing in that picture to the right there. Okay, the other one is different nationalities, or different countries have different laws. They have different things like that. So that's something to be familiar about when you're going out to different areas. So I'm just going to see. In Utah, it is what peeps wear. Okay. So like whatever wants to wear. Cool. I live in a house on a street in the state in the U.S. on the planet Earth. Okay. Cool. All right, let's go to the next theme of geography real quick. The next thing is movement, okay? So, for example, there's a lot of things that move, right? So there's people move, right? One of the big things or controversies, right, is immigration, right? People coming from Central America and coming up into North America, particularly into the United States. So you have people that move from place to place. We had somebody that said they moved from Nevada, right? Moved to Nevada. Some people moved from Tennessee. Somebody said they moved from Tennessee. Okay, so there's movements there. There's also goods and services. So, for example, the sushi, right? How do we know about sushi, right? It wasn't made in Japan and shipped over here. That'd be pretty nasty when it got over here. But that's because it's something that kind of came over here. So that, or you have food that originated in like Mexico, right? kind of came over. You have a lot of that kind of stuff. Something I think it's funny in Utah is like fry sauce. Right, fry sauce. If you go back east, they don't have fry sauce there. It's kind of a Utah thing, but it's kind of disseminated into Wyoming a little bit, and Nevada, and Idaho. But there, it says fry sauce is bomb. Yep. Yeah. So all these different kind of things move, and it's big and global now, especially with like Amazon and big things like that. You can buy anything in the world and it can be shipped to you super fast. Okay, the next theme of geography is region. Okay, certain regions have different areas. So let's talk maybe about like the South. They call it the South of the United States. So we're talking about Florida, Georgia, Alabama. They have like their own little, they speak differently sometimes. Okay, they have a southern accent is what we call it. There's stereotypes like Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know, all those kind of things on there. So we're going to be looking at different regions as well. Okay, and then the last one, oh, somebody says rednecks, okay? I guess so, but I think rednecks actually goes over to some Utah kind of stuff too, like the South here. The next one, and this is what our next lesson is going to be on, is human-environment interaction, okay? So how humans affect their environment and how the environment affects humans, okay? So natural disasters, like you hear about the fires in Australia right now, okay? So something that's going on. There's tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes, all of these different types of things, volcano eruptions. That's how the environment affects humans. And humans also affects our environment by, you know, pumping oil out of the ground, damming up rivers, building houses, cities. So we are affected to the environment, and so we're going to be talking about that. That's going to be our first lesson next week. Okay. All right, that ends us up for our lesson today. But what's due today, what you need to do this week, okay, is lesson 1 quiz, okay? So lesson 1 quiz is going to be going over the 5 themes of geography and basically what geography is, okay? So I just unlocked the thing so you can go back and look at this. This recording, so if you just barely got into here, the class, this recording is going to be up on the announcements. We meet at 11:30 every Monday. That's our only live class we have. And so our assignment this week is lesson 1 quiz. You can find that in the modules there so you can take it, okay? All right, perfect. If you wrote it all down, then you're going to ace. You should be able to ace the quiz there. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording. I'll be on for a while just to kind of help anybody that needs to, or anybody that has questions, and then we'll talk to you a little bit later. Okay. All right, so stay on if you have any questions. If you're good to go, you can go. Looks like I have some private messages too that I'll get to as well. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Make sure lesson 1 quiz is what you need to do this week.
Recording